What's up, Real Cap Talk? This Corey.
And it's Mike.
Yeah, and so we told you we was gonna have a quick turnaround episode. So that's what this is. Um, really, because Mike's Steelers have been going off.
Yeah, to say the least, to put it lightly. Best, I don't want to say best team in the league because I don't want to jinx my own team, but that's what it's looking like. Record-wise, by far, I mean, not by far, they're one game ahead of Kansas City, but record-wise, the only undefeated team, and they just beat the Ravens. They beat the Titans before, and they beat the Browns before that. So those are three pretty dang good teams that would be in the playoffs right now. So we're looking nice. We're looking
So
nice.
do you actually think the Steelers are better than Kansas City?
I think they have a better defense. Kansas City's defense is nice this year. I think they have a better defense in Kansas City. I think Kansas City's offense is still better than Pittsburgh's, but I will say Pittsburgh's offense is picking up. They haven't put a full game together. The offense hasn't, where they've clicked all four quarters. They've done it in the second half against Baltimore. Then and the offense looked really good. And then in the first half against Tennessee, then the offense looks really good. So, and I mean, the Browns, they look good the whole game, but I mean, it's the Browns. So, like, the Steelers always beat them. So I don't really take that with a whole lot of, to take it with a grain of salt, pretty much. But if the Steelers can play four quarters where Ben is slinging the ball to all those receivers and all those weapons that he has, the offense is going to look dangerous, and they're going to be really, 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 really tough for the Chiefs to beat. I think the only way that the Chiefs will beat Pittsburgh is if Pat Mahomes has one of those like special games that he had, like leading up to the Super Bowl, like where he had that run against Tennessee or that second half against Houston last year. That's the only way that Kansas City beats Pittsburgh, I think, right now.
Well, Pat Mahomes had one of those games last game. He threw 5 touchdowns, 400 yards, and this that's not a far stretch to say if Patrick Mahomes has one of those games because he's due to have those type of games. But Big Ben and Lamar didn't look so good against each other, and it may be because both defenses are pretty good. But at the same time, when Pat Mahomes faced that Ravens defense, he still threw like 4 touchdowns and almost 400 yards that game. So
So the first half, Ben didn't look good, but the second half, the offense came to life, and that's why they won that game. The offense, I think, what did they put up? Because they were down, it was like, 20-7 at halftime, I think. And the offense came back. Let me look this up, double check. Steelers, Ravens.
yeah, so they were at halftime. It was 17-7 a half, and
And
then
the Steelers scored 21 points.
yeah,
And the
also
third.
had some help forcing Lamar to turn the ball over because
Yeah,
Lamar
the defense definitely put the Steelers offense in good field position with 4 takeaways in the game with 2 fumbles and I think 2 picks or whatever.
picks.
But 21 points is still 21 points. You got to put the ball in the end zone, and they did that 3 times in the second half. So I think that's what I'm saying. The offense has been good, not great. The defense has been great this year, which everyone pretty much knew was going to happen. But
I still don't think they're better than Kansas City.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad.
I think Kansas City, yeah, and I don't think you should be, or anyone should be, because Kansas City still has firepower and their defense is better than last year. So I mean, when you have the same team, a better defense, they're playing together better, and with Pat Mahomes playing like he is, I don't think the team is gonna be. I think they're probably gonna go back to back.
I think it'll be interesting. I'm thinking, like, has Pat Mahomes played a defense? Like, the Niners defense last year was pretty good, but this Pittsburgh defense is deep, and there's no holes. There is no holes at all. And I think the holes last year for the 49ers was their safeties, and that was obvious when Tyreek Hill caught that one pass that led to them winning the Super Bowl. But the Steelers safeties are nice. You know what I mean? That's Mika Fitzpatrick, who's up there with the best safeties in the league. And then you have Terrell Edmonds, former first-round pick, who's actually playing like a first-round pick this year, coming out really strong. But then the corners have been great. You got to think like these quarterbacks and the people that they face, they've not done a whole lot. Like Pittsburgh has gone up against like these good offensive players. Now, none of them are Pat Mahomes, but like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry averages like 120 yards a game or something like that, and he only had 75 yards against Pittsburgh, and most of that came in the second half. So it's a tough defense to score on. And not only that, the defense gets so many takeaways and so many sacks. Like Ben, that's what I'm saying. Ben can only play like a half, and that's all they really need. That's why people were saying like that's what they're saying last year. Pittsburgh went 8-8 with two bad quarterbacks.
In the
Right?
playoffs,
Made 8-8.
in the playoffs, when you play a team like Kansas City, you're gonna need more than two good quarters.
No, yeah, most definitely. And that's why that's what I'm saying. That's why they always say like a good pass rush makes your corners look good, or good corners makes your pass rush look better than it is. But Pittsburgh has the best defensive line in football. They do. Cam Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, T.J. Watt, and Bud Dupree are nice. Like, they are great. Those are all going to be Pro Bowlers. T.J. Watt deserves to be the Defensive Player of the Year. And Cam Hayward is the most underrated defensive lineman in football. That guy's a beast. So is Stephon Tuitt. You know what I mean? And Bud Dupree, he's going to get a fat contract next year. I'm pretty sure it's going to be his last year with the Steelers because they're not going to be able to afford him. He's going to be so good. So their D-line is nasty, and I think it's
– the addition of Avery will be big.
Yeah, they got Avery Williamson at middle linebacker. They got that because Devin Bush plays ACL against
E. And that sucks. I'm a fan of Devin Bush.
No, they tore it against Cleveland. That's what it was, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's beginning to see it. But, yeah, Devin Bush was the 10th overall pick. We traded up from Steelers. The last time they traded up for someone in the draft was Troy Polamalu in, like, 2004. So if they trade up in a draft, then you know, like, they really think that person's going to be special, especially a defensive player because Pittsburgh's known for defensive players. So I think the Steelers, the last time they played the Chiefs, the Steelers had no problem putting up points, but the problem was their defense was not good. It's a different story now. The offense is still there, and, yeah, we don't have Antonio Brown like we did 2 years ago whenever we played Kansas City when Mahomes first started out in the league, his MVP year, but our defense is way better than it used to be. So it's going to be interesting. Pat, and the knock on Pat coming into the NFL, and I know this because we go to Tech, and I watched Pat. I actually watched him before he was Pat Mahomes, and everyone knew who he was. This dude with the cannon arm, whatever, coming out of Tech. Is at Tech, he would throw a lot of picks because he would try to make those special throws or special plays because he knows he can, and it would get him into trouble. He can't do that against Pittsburgh. You can't. You can't make a mistake against Pittsburgh because they will get the turnover every single time.
He has not had that problem in his last really 2 years, especially this season. I think he only has like 2 picks this season. I'm going to look it up.
No, he hasn't. Pat Mahomes is great. I think Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback I've ever seen.
He had 1 interception this year.
But you got to think he hasn't played a defense like no one's played a defense like this. Every time
I think the Ravens – say it one more time.
I think that's why the Steelers are 7-0 is because no one plays a defense like Pittsburgh does, and you can't really game plan for it because, you're going to have a scout team. Someone will be Minka, someone will be TJ, someone will be Cam Hayward, Steve Nelson, Edmonds. There's studs all over that defensive field.
I think they have played a top 5 defense in the Ravens. I think the Ravens defense was top 5 defense.
Yeah, nice. But I think you saw it on Sunday, though. The defense between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, there's a talent discrepancy there. That's why Ben and the offense put up 27 points and Lamar had 4 turnovers. So, and that's a knock on Ben, right? Everyone said going into the game, Ben can't have 3 picks like he did last week against Tennessee or they're going to lose the game. Ben didn't have a turnover. So, you know what I mean? That shows you whose defense is better.
So, put my hair up like this, moving on a little bit, because a little shout out to my boy, man. DC, best running back in the league, man. What's going on? Talk to me, man. Dalvin Cook, best running back in the league. You can't name another running back better. Can't say Christian McCaffrey because he's hurt. For sure not Zeke. He's been not even talk about them because You say Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the only person that you can make a valuable argument with because he has more rushing yards right now. But he also played. He's got a game ahead of him, really a game and a half, but whatever, we didn't count that. And Dalvin Cook has more touchdowns. So I mean, it's like Derrick Henry, but Dalvin Cook has been toting that thing.
Dalvin Cook is great, but I will go with Derrick Henry because I think Dalvin Cook, maybe talent-wise, maybe a little bit better than Derrick Henry in terms of like catching the ball out of the backfield and like shiftiness and elusiveness. And Dalvin Cook could also run you over. He's not a little guy, but
He ran somebody over last week in Green Bay. He did run somebody over.
But Derrick Henry, dude, that's a different beast. You saw what Derrick Henry did last year. He rode Tennessee all the way to the or the AFC Championship, and he's doing it again this year. Like I said, against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's the best defense in the league. He still had 75 yards and a touchdown, which is like a bad game for Derrick Henry. But for any of these other running backs this year, that's a great game. So
I do feel like I think he's underrated in this aspect. I think Dalvin Cook has the best vision in the league. If you like just go and watch Dalvin Cook's runs, I think he has the best vision in the league. Like since Le'Veon Bell back with the Steelers, because I think Le'Veon Bell was the best running back when he was with the Steelers, and the reason being was because of his patience and his vision. I think Dalvin Cook definitely has the best vision in the league. He never misses a hole.
I think the one thing that Dalvin Cook does miss though, games, and that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the one thing why I would take Derrick Henry over him is the availability being your best ability. Dalvin Cook is injury prone. He's shown to be since he's gotten to the league. But when he's on the field, he is nice. That is true. Now, let me ask you this. Who are your top 5 running backs if healthy? If healthy.
Top 5 running backs if healthy. I think Dalvin Cook is I wouldn't take nobody over Dalvin Cook. I'm going first. Then 2 and 3 is hard, but 2 and 3 belongs to Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. I think if healthy, them two are 2 and 3. 4 and 5 is probably I'm forgetting. I'm taking Saquon Barkley over both of them. As far as talent, I'm taking Saquon Barkley second, and then Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry third and fourth. It's tough between them two because it's like Derrick Henry is so much harder to tackle, right? Of course he is, but then Christian McCaffrey just adds so much to your offense, out running the ball in the catching game. So that's it's like pick your poison. What do you want? If you got a passing, like if you got a gunslinger, then you probably want Christian McCaffrey. But if you want to pound the ball, then you want to go to Derrick Henry. So I think that's the toss-up between them two. And fifth probably belongs to Nick Chubb. I'm leaving Zeke out. I'm leaving Zeke out for all you Cowboy fans. I'm leaving Zeke out of my top 5 because he got paid and started playing like poo.
All right, interesting top 5 for sure. I think, Saquon and McCaffrey being out is tough. And with Zeke's offensive line, I'm going to say this. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. His whole offensive line, all decided to end their career at once. So I think what I'll say is my top 5, I got Derrick Henry number 1. Just what he did last year in the playoffs was insane. I hadn't seen that from a running back in a long, long time. And then I got Christian McCaffrey number 2. I got Saquon at 3 because I think Saquon is the most naturally talented running back I've ever seen. He just is on a crap team, and he's obviously got injured this year.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Or I'm putting Zeke at 4. I'm putting him over Dalvin Cook because listen to this. Zeke, listen. Zeke, before the Cowboys got really bad, think about those first 2 years in Zeke when he was in the league. Zeke was a beast, bro. A beast. And I'm telling you, I think once he might get, I don't know. I don't think he'll get traded because he just got paid. He's got a fat contract and the trade deadline just passed. But Zeke is nasty. Zeke is naturally talented. I think he did get a little fat, though. It got a little bit slow after he got his contract. But I got Zeke at 4. And then at 5, it's a tie between Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara. Yep. Alvin Kamara is a poor man's Christian McCaffrey. That's what it is. And you're muted.
You got to stop, bro.
No,
You
I'm
guys, it's disrespectful. Like the last 2 years, even with Dalvin Cook missing games, he still had more yards than Alvin Kamara. Like,
but Alvin Kamara has those boom plays and those.
so does Dalvin Cook.
So I know, but what I'm saying is Kamara does it on a team that is competitive. And the Vikings haven't been bad other than this year, but Kamara makes more of those wow plays than Dalvin Cook does. That's facts.
I don't think it's true. And the reason why I'm gonna say this, and the stats will back this up. When's the last time Alvin Kamara had a game with 160 rushing yards?
That's the thing. He's not a. That's what I'm saying. That's why I put him together because I don't think he's not a workhorse running back like these guys ahead of him are. Like those guys get at least 20 carries a game, guaranteed, every Sunday. Kamara doesn't. But what Kamara does do is get guaranteed at least 6-7 catches a game, at least. So, you know what I mean?
I'm disagreeing with this. It's no way I'm taking Alvin Kamara over Dalvin Cook. There's no way.
You know who we're sleeping on that we didn't even mention?
Who?
Josh Jacobs.
Oh yeah, he's been. I know, and I'm not sleeping on him. I think he just falls right outside that 5 range. I think he's in that 6 to 10 range, especially this year because a lot of running backs been hurt. Like, Zeke's production been down, so I think Zeke should be falling out of people's top 5 with his production of this year. Whether it made his offensive line is trash, whatever, it is what it is. That's not it's excuses are buttholes. Everybody got one of them. So he should be falling out. Then you got Christian McCaffrey. He's been hurt. Todd Gurley. He's been good, but he hasn't been Rams 2018, 2017 Todd Gurley when, he should have won MVP over Tom Brady that year.
Antonio Brown should have. But, yeah.
Who?
Antonio Brown.
No, he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
It should have been Todd Gurley because it really would have been Carson Wentz. He got hurt.
And then AB.
And then Todd Gurley. He almost broke the touchdown record that year.
Yeah, Antonio Brown had the best receiver year since Jerry Rice, but whatever.
And that's Cap. It's been Julio because he had that. Well, no, it's been Calvin. It's Calvin. Don't disrespect Calvin like that. Calvin had the best receiver.
Antonio Brown's best receiver
year
is Jerry Rice. He is.
Anyway, who else? Who else am I missing? So I said Zeke,
Odell, and Calvin Johnson don't come close to Antonio Brown. Sorry. I'm serious. They don't. It's a different league. They're great. They're our first ballot Hall of Famers. Antonio Brown.
You said Calvin doesn't?
No. I don't think so. Maybe if Calvin Johnson played like 3 more years, then sure. Antonio Brown.
Oh, they only play. Antonio Brown only played like 8 years.
Yeah, but he had like 6 of the greatest years of all time.
He still didn't have more yards than Calvin.
Dude, come on.
He still didn't have more yards than Calvin. And he's played 8 years and been just as terrible.
Antonio Brown's better than Calvin Johnson.
I'm definitely putting that on the Twitter.
He is.
People vote about that because that is.
People forget, dude. Just because
Cap alert.
People forget just because Antonio Brown went crazy, they don't give that guy the flowers he deserves. Yeah, he's insane. I think he's crazy. He deserves the name Antonio Clown. I don't like him, but I watched him play. Antonio Brown was different, and I haven't seen a football player that exciting since other than Pat Mahomes, other than Antonio Brown.
Cap alert. Real Cap Talk. This is Cap alert. Tell me if I'm wrong. We need audience opinion on this because we're not gonna. Nothing we can say is gonna change it. So we're gonna need audience opinion on this. We'll take a poll about this. But okay, so I was naming running backs who was falling off that will be in our top 5, which has been Zeke, Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb has been hurt, Saquon has been hurt, and Todd Gurley, who hasn't been himself. He's been good, but not himself. And that Falcons team, man, that's just, I don't even know what to say.
Well, they have the best receiver, though. Why aren't they winning more games?
Because their quarterback and coach is terrible.
Oh, the former MVP quarterback?
Yeah. He's been
Hall of Famer Matt Ryan?
He's been –
I'm kidding.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been coaching problems. It don't matter how good a team is. In football, coaching matters. In the NBA, you can get away with a bad coach if you got great players. In the NFL, it doesn't matter how great you are of a player. You got bad coaching, is you're not going to be good. You can't find me a bad coach team that won a championship or a Super Bowl.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna take that poll from them because that's a hat, bro. So nothing has been happening in the NBA. We want to talk about except so we did want to talk a little bit. Today's election day, so I don't want to talk about that. I do want to just y'all people be safe because I don't know how things are going. It could a lot of people think it's riots coming and a lot of crazy stuff that's probably going to be on the way. Probably no matter who wins as president. I do feel like my thing my political view, right? I'll give you guys my political view. Because I really haven't, like, if I haven't put this on social media, my political view, I think Donald Trump, as far as the economy of America, makes America a better place for rich people. And that's a proven fact, right? I don't care if you don't like him. He's made the economy for rich people a safer place. I don't know if I can say the same for the poor or middle class. Just because we're in a pandemic and we're going through a big depression right now. So whether May you say that's something he can't control, I don't care. It is what it is. But the thing is, Donald Trump hasn't made America a safe place, like a safe place for people like us. And that's just the truth at the end of the day. In the last 20 years, we've never seen an uproar in racism like we have. And I think that's strictly due to people feeling like it's okay to be racist from Donald Trump's actions and remarks. So that's why I think Biden makes it a better place for me. And of course, I'm not rich, so I don't have to worry about taxes going up because I don't make $400,000 a year. So that's my political view. Both of them are low-key still idiots. So it's a tough, but yeah, I think America might be in for a little rude awakening, maybe with some riots coming.
Yeah, I think they're saying more people have voted this year than definitely in 2016, but then in a long time. So I think that's a good sign of at least people are going out and getting votes done. And I think that's something I was thinking about here recently, like the way society is gonna go here in the future with like technology like getting improved every like 5 seconds of every day is you're never gonna really see like people not voting anymore. Like if you notice, like this year, everywhere you turn, no matter if it was TV, social media, anything, like if you turn on your Xbox, you saw, are you registered to vote? You know what I mean? Like it's everywhere. And so there really was no excuse for someone to not vote this year. Now there is COVID that is still going on, which is a challenge. That's why people you had the option to mail in your ballots. But at the end of the day, I wasn't really worried about that. I mean, it's still going on now. There's no results. Like literally, election day is right now, and the results aren't in. And they won't be in for a while. But I honestly, truly thought like if you wanted to get your vote in, people were gonna do it regardless if it was COVID or not. They were gonna mask up. They're gonna social distance, and then we're gonna go to the polls because that's just how big this election kind of is making itself out to be. Um, like I said, I never want to like tell people who to vote for because everybody
Same.
comes from like different backgrounds or whatever. And also I'm going into the military, so I can't really like speak on that stuff because the president is like the commander in chief. So I can't like say exactly um, certain things about the president. But I will say this. Um, this election is going to be interesting because is to the whoever wins will be the oldest president to ever sit in office. So I think Joe Biden's like 70, 74 or I think 77, and then Trump is 74, 77, something like that. But they're old. They're old and they got to get in tune with the world because the world I think is at a turning point. I don't think that politics and government can be ran like how it used to be back when we had Obama and back when we had Bush. Like, you know, you got to think like when Obama got first elected in 2008, the iPhone just dropped. Think about that. Now, 12 years later, the world is in a completely different state, and it's only going to get more crazy technologically. That's what scares me the most is what's it going to look like 12 years from now, you know, 12 years down the line when it's 2032 and we're getting like, what is that election going to look like when we're in our 30s? You know what I mean? Like what's going to be around us? Are we going to still be in these, like, it's kind of mind boggling to go into. It's a huge drain and black hole, but I think, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know what's going to happen depending on who wins. But all I hope is whoever wins hopefully can stop this divide that I think is going on, because I think that's the biggest thing that's wrong with the country.
I agree.
Is a divide. You know, you get taught growing up like, red, white, and blue, like USA, land of the free, home of the brave, like all this stuff, which is true. But then as we've grown up, you see, red, 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 Republican, Republican, Republican. And then on the other side, it's blue, 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 Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. And there's dudes they go at it all the time and nothing really gets done other than them hating each other more at the end of the conversation. So
in my experience of my 22 years, this is the most divided I've witnessed America has been.
And you know, what really made it stick out to me was COVID, because you got to think, like, obviously we don't remember 9/11. We're young babies, but like you look at all the things like that happened. Like when 9/11 first happened, America as a country, the people came together regardless of political views, and they're like, okay, we need to do something. We need to heal. Now they didn't agree on how we went into the Middle East and all that stuff, and Iraq and all that was a big mess, but they understood, okay, this is a point in time where Americans, us as people, regardless of what your views are, need to come together to make this country like heal. And then you have Hurricane Katrina. People were like, okay, we need to do what we got to do to make America come back stronger again. And then you got to think, '08, the recession. You know what I mean? Like these are big events that happen where Americans came together and you saw it. Now there were still points of contention. There always will be. That's why America is the way it is. You can now have your own opinion. But now, with social media giving everybody a voice, you would have thought that a global pandemic would have had the country come together, but no, it made it get worse. And that's when I realized, I was like, man, okay, like this election is going to be different, because this president, whoever it is, whether it's Donald Trump again or Joe Biden, Donald Trump can't go into this presidency if he wins acting the same way he did these last 4 years, because he has a pandemic and an economic recession on his hands. He's got to make, regardless if he doesn't want to do it or not. And he's campaigning right now on getting people divided. But I think if he wants to be a successful president in these next 4 years, he has to focus on making people come together. He has to, for the sake of the future of the country. It depends on it in these next 4 years. It's crazy to think about, but like the fact that people like on like social media will make jokes like, you've seen that TikTok where that like guys like, if Joe Biden wins, we ready and we coming. And it's like, what? Like for who? Your own citizens that like live next door to you? Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, so people are going crazy right now. I mean, politics always make people cuckoo, but right now is definitely a huge turning point. You know, hey, I want people to listen to this part right here. Stop saying this is what's going to happen in your children's history books, because your children aren't going to be reading history books when they go to school. It's going to be like on an iPad or something like that, or a laptop that everybody has. History books are done. We are in college. Have you opened up a textbook this year, Corey? I haven't. Exactly. And we're all online. That's what I'm saying. So people are always like, it's going to be my kid's textbook. No, it's not. Get out of here. But long rant. But yeah, 2020, man, it's crazy.
You said a lot of facts. That's like definitely true as far as, you know, America. Something's got to change. And so it's gonna be it's gonna be something to see. I think. Did you see the video on Twitter of it was a Donald Trump rally. He was speaking. I don't even know where he was speaking, and then the crowd started chanting "LeBron sucks," "LeBron James sucks." Yeah, so I think stuff like that is crazy. It reminds me. Was that we went out the other night, right? Mike's like, Corey, come out to karaoke night, right? So whatever, I go to karaoke night, and his one of his friends was there. He introduced me to one of his friends, and his friend goes, we asked him his opinion about the show or whatever. He's like, yeah, I watched the show. I think he's super drunk. Corey, you stupid. He goes, Corey, you stupid. And then he goes on to say, if the Thunder beats the Rockets, they would have won the championship because they would have beat the Lakers. Nobody the matchup is just perfect. Corey, you're stupid. I was like, you called me stupid. And they're gonna say the Thunder is gonna win the champion. Like they'll beat the Lakers and win the championship.
Yeah, shout out Jake Matthews. That's who we're talking about. We'll add you on this when we drop that.
Yeah, that was nuts. But yeah, it's crazy to see stuff like that. Like LeBron lived rent free in a lot of people's head. For at a Trump rally, you saying LeBron James sucks, bro. It's odd and high key. I think if LeBron runs for president, he'll no doubt win. Like when he retires, if LeBron runs for president, which would be a really smart move for him, he'll definitely win.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what LeBron does. LeBron could probably play basketball for another 10 years if he really wanted to. But we'll see. That's the politics. It's a big old headache for sure. We'll see who ends up being president here in the next couple of days because I don't know how long it's going to take for these results to come out with all these mail-in ballots and stuff like that. So we'll take a look, see who's our president here. By the time the next episode drops, we hopefully should know what's going to who. And it's not official until December 14th when the Electoral College goes to vote. So people need to read up on that, man. Like, if you want to talk about politics, go read up on it. It's there for you to know. You're an American citizen. You voted. That's great. But go do your duty and go know what you're voting for, who you're voting for, and how it all works.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm tired of people with no knowledge trying to say your vote doesn't matter. It's all about the Electoral College. Like, bro, go do your research before you say an idiot statement like it's all about the Electoral College because you guys really, like, I'm not finna sit here and explain it to you guys. Go look. It's like 3-minute videos. Like this is what I did when I turned 18 and I was told I need to vote. I went and looked at a 3-minute video of, all right, people talking about the Electoral College. What is the Electoral College? You go look at it. It's 2-3-minute videos that explains what it is. Stop saying your vote don't matter because your vote matters in everywhere you are. Period. So I'm gonna end on that little
real talk. That's not cap.
that's not cap. Yeah. So we'll probably end on that and
that's me doing karaoke
right there. All right, y'all. Like I said, thanks for watching Real Cap Talk. Just a little quick next show, just a little preview of next show. I have my boy come on here, and it's gonna be a little different. This will be a little different than any show we ever had. So be ready for my boy to come on here and share a little bit about himself.
Yeah, man. We've had, like you just said, adding on to that, we've had a lot of people over the past year. We've been doing this for a year now. Is when we started. Asked to get on the show, so we're gonna finally start doing that. We got Spotify up. I didn't mention that last episode. We got Spotify up now, so you don't have to watch this on YouTube. And we got the YouTube still going strong. And I'm gonna get some interviews and sit downs and people get on the show as guests. So that'll be exciting. But yeah, that'll wrap up.
So man,
Real Cap Talk.
Y'all be safe. No cap.
No cap. Let me get my hat. 7-0. We beat in Dallas this week, baby.